Hi everyone, as I've said in the last video this month I'd like to work hard on this project, and here's another video dedicated to Quadra V-Tech from Cyberpunk 2077. In this video I'm going to work with the middle part, tacking doorways, rocker panels, and a roof. The doors will be set aside till the very end, most likely when the whole body will be ready. As it turned out, the most vexing and difficult part was the side strips under the doorway. They are straight but have many cavities which I'm gonna fix with plasticine. This time, I'll use some special tool. I tried it and realized that this correction will take more than one day, and the result would still be bad. In this way I'd had to correct both matrices and finish details, so the most optimal option will be simply to remove everything and remake it. Especially since we already have the solutions, such as the aluminum U-shaped tubes which will perfectly fit with their size. First I removed all the strips, and made a flat plane with PVC plastic. I enjoyed working with plasticine, and the side walls I leveled with it, and a heated rubbing fin. By the way, the whole middle part took about 4 kilograms of plasticine. I should have done like this at once, but everything comes with experience. Also, using this plasticine, I reduced the rocker panels to the common denominator, as the right and left panels didn't match in height. The same process was done on the other side. Now everything is even and coincides. I cut the aluminum shape in parts according to the size, and began to adjust it to its place. Made approximate marks in advance. Just look what an even beauty we have. Now we have to finish the roof. Just in case, I decided to install a support under the roof center, as I'll have to rest on it with my hands sometimes. I never learned to fly, didn't have enough time, and came with the solution in a form of a bridge from 2 ladders and a couple of boards. The construction was a little shaky because of the uneven floor, but it was so much nicer to work on it rather than pulling and chest resting on the foam model. I puttied the center part and corrected old putty defects. First forms, I'll take off the roof and the sides. For this purpose I isolated them with plastic strips from the other parts. I made several details at once because it was more convenient. While one thing was drying I could work with another one. This time I refused using the glue gun and gonna glue everything with plasticine. Then it's up to the separating spirit. I added a regular red color to it. It wasn't quite visible while shooting, but the eye immediately distinguished where it was and where I missed it. I was so surprised when I realized that the spirit was absorbing into the putty and didn't make a separating layer. Good thing I covered the whole front part with an acrylic without even knowing this fact. Otherwise I'd have to pluck out the model out of the forms. I applied acrylic colorless varnish with an airbrush to the model. After it has dried, I treated the details with a separating spirit. Made the gel coat more saturated by adding more green pigment, and applied it to the prepared parts. I covered the side part in 3 layers and dried interchangeably. Raised the temperature with a heat gun to fasten gel solidification. While the gun was working, I went out of the workshop. In about 3 hours the whole thing solidified, and we had to armament gel coat with the glass mat. Here comes the stitcher roller, which will help to work with even surfaces. Then I used the glass fiber mat, and most likely this was the last time I used it on matrices. While working with it I realized that it wasn't so much needed. It was easier to put a couple more layers of ordinary glass mat than to suffer and cut it in size. It is more needed for some finished parts to give the inside part of the product good and presentable look. After the roof, I'll glue the side. For this purpose I decided to try a glass veil, which has a small density comparably to the glass mat of 300 density and better covers all irregularities. I tried it and honestly didn't notice much difference, and continued working with the glass mat. As it occurred, it took much time to mold the glass mat upon such uneven surface, and it was also not so easy, as you always had to stay in a bent position. Of course there was some trapped air, but it could be easily cleaned with an angle grinder. I tried to reach maximum thickness. Who knows, maybe I'll have to pull the shapes out of form. To continue my work I removed all the interfering fringe and already unnecessary flangings. Next details will be the front stand and the doorway. I made their own particular flangings and treated everything with the spirit. All other process corresponded to the worked out scheme. While working I didn't notice that polyester resin was flowing and stockpiled in the gutter. Large volumes of solidified resin generate heat. The resin warmed to about 70 degrees, but fortunately nothing bad happened. I hadn't molded the stand till the end and was waiting for the opening to dry in order not to make some unnecessary details. After drying, I removed the flanging and continued to glue the stand. A metal-shaped tube will also be placed in it at the stage of support frame forming for the entire matrix. Now we move to the very bottom of the rocker panel. I also removed some extra part of the matrix with the angle grinder. Here we have a form with not so bad thickness. Still, we need to make the flanging and set the glass mat. I'm done with the central part, and so with this part of the video. In the meantime, thanks everyone for your attention and support, your comments and likes. See you in the following video.